Hey everybody, I am Keaton, this is Kid Catholic, and for today's video, I wanted to do something that has been suggested to me a couple times, and it is talking about the catechisms that we have, the UCAT, and the Catechism of the Catholic Church specifically. But before we get into it, please go check out my website, kidcatholic.com, and on there, especially, you can order your very own Kid Catholic t-shirt right now. So please go over there, and please go ahead and check that out and order yours today. Now, I wanted to start off by explaining sort of what we Catholics believe. Like, there are some other Christian denominations who believe in sola scriptura, which means that they believe only things that were written in the Bible. If anything else is outside the Bible, then they don't believe that. Catholics, we don't go by sola scriptura. While we do believe everything that is said in the Bible, but we believe it as the early Christians interpreted it. We also have something called tradition, which is basically word of mouth. It's the early Christians tell their kids tell their kids, etc., 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 and we have tradition. This is especially the case with some of the legends of saints. You know, some of the legends of saints is told by mouth. Well, there are some teachings of the Catholic Church, because think about it. The apostles were with Jesus 24/7 for 3 years. Jesus, when everything that he explains, the apostles aren't going to be able to write every single thing down in the Bible, and so we have other ways of learning, other ways of education of our Catholic faith, and the catechisms are some of those. I have right next to me the Catechism of the Catholic Church and the UCAT, which is the Youth Catechism. Now, education is such an important part of our faith. We need to know and love God, right? We read that in the Bible. We need to know and love God, meaning we need to know Him, meaning we need to learn about His teachings, learn about what we believe, and these two things help with that a lot. I want to start off, I'm going to emphasize the UCAT, but just to briefly explain to you guys, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, it is more of the adult version of the UCAT, right? It's more of a reference book, so you can go back and look up a word, I don't know, let's, for example, liturgy, and it'll tell you paragraph numbers, such as right here. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but right here, 1069 to 70, you can go look up that paragraph right here, and I can find their teaching, they're teaching on the liturgy. So this is more of a reference book. Some people can sit and read it all the way through, but I think it's best to use as a reference book if you want to know our teaching on the Catholic faith, instead of using Google, because we can't trust everything we see on the internet. We can go and look in the Catechism. And then I want to especially talk about the UCAT. And the UCAT is very, very similar. However, there are a few differences. It's very easy. It's very easy to use. In the first page, there's a little section that explains instructions for use. Here it is. Anyway, it is also can sort of be used as a reference book. Like they have things in the back. For example, the Old Testament. You can look at paragraph number 22. Let's go to that. Where's paragraph number 22? Here we go. The Old Testament. I can find their teaching on the Old Testament. How does one go about believing? And so it has a little explanation right here, and then it has further explanation. But what's also cool about the UCAT is that it is more of the youth version of the catechism. You know, explains things in a way the youth can understand in a youth appropriate way. It also has the paragraph number for the catechism. The catechism is a lot thicker and more thorough. It goes more in depth to the teaching, but the UCAT does have the paragraph number for the catechism. So if you're looking something up in the UCAT and you want to go see what the catechism has to say about that, you can find the paragraph number for it in the catechism. There's also little quotes next to the paragraph. For example, this one: I would not believe if I did not realize that it is reasonable to believe. St. Thomas Aquinas. They have saint quotes. They have quotes from Scripture. There's a lot of scriptural quotes in here. There are a couple comical quotes in here as well. So it's a little bit of a less. The UCAT is more of a less in-depth version of the catechism, whereas the catechism is more in-depth. What else I also love about the UCAT is it's sort of written, like the paragraphs are sort of written in a question and answer format, so it's really easy to understand. And so the catechism, like I said, is more of an adult version of that. The UCAT is more of a youth version of that. I might use that as a thumbnail, like the little pause. Anyway, so why are these things necessary? Why are these things necessary when we have the Bible? And that can be a fair question for a lot of people. However, think about it this way. The Bible is what is written down, some quotes of Jesus, right? Some of the quotes that Jesus said when during his 3 years with the apostles, which of course there's stuff prior to that. But I want to specifically talk about the time of the apostles in the Bible. And like I said, the apostles aren't going to write down every little thing Jesus said. So don't you think that the writers of the Bible, people like Saint Luke, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, right? Saint Peter, people like those, don't you think that they would know how to interpret the Bible since they're the ones who wrote it? And so Catholics, we interpret the Bible the way the early Christians interpreted it, because they were with Jesus, so they obviously know more than us. And the Catechism helps us to find our teachings that we might not necessarily find an exact answer in the Bible, because the Bible, it has a ton of answers, but it also has, some confusing answers and some confusing words and different ways to interpret it. And we know that there's one way to interpret it, and that's how the early Christians interpreted it. And this is what the UCAT and the Catechism of the Catholic Church can do for us. So that's what they are for. However, what is the education of the Catholic faith in general for? Well, I think in our world today, I've said this the past several weeks, there's so much division today. It's crazy how much division there is, and we can especially see it since we have the internet. We have so much we have so much accessibility to view the division among the world, that we can especially in order to defend our faith, I think we especially need to know our faith, because our faith is being attacked, right? Our faith is being attacked in the political world, on the internet, everywhere. There are people making fun of our faith, right? It's everywhere. Our faith is attacked as of right now, not as physically as it has been. Like it's been, we've experienced this before. We've experienced way more physical persecution than we are now, but we're still experiencing some physical persecution in parts of the world, and we are experiencing a lot of hate right now. And so in order for us to defend our faith, we shouldn't back down, right? We shouldn't back down from the hate that we are receiving. We shouldn't back down. We should step up, right? We should not back down. We should not let them continue to hate on our faith. We need to defend our faith. In order to defend our faith, we need to know our faith, right? Because if we do our research, then we'll know that the Catholic Church is the correct answer, right? And the Catechism and UCAT provides that for us. If let's say we have a friend who isn't Catholic and she asks us a question about Catholicism that we can't answer, or she asks us, or she gives an argument against Catholicism. She might be against Catholicism, and we don't know the answer. We don't want to guess the answer. We have the Catechism and the UCAT for that as well, because the UCAT is important also because in public schools right now, that can also be the case for kids, even teens, to go and look up in the UCAT to find the correct answer and to be able to defend our faith. And it won't always be easy to defend our faith. We absolutely need God's help, and the UCAT and the Catechism helps with that as well, right? We need to pray to God for help with that, for strength, right? For a shield against the world. And we need to have knowledge, because knowledge is so vitally important. We can do anything with knowledge, right? If we have the knowledge, then we can do anything. And so that's why the UCAT and Catechism are so important to our faith. So remember, the UCAT and Catechism of the Catholic Church are more so reference books. However, they can be read completely through. Explain how to use it. You look up a topic, you see the paragraph number, and you go and find where that paragraph is in the book, and you can see the explanation. That's the same way with the Catechism of the Catholic Church. The Catechism of the Catholic Church is more of an adult, in-depth version of the UCAT. And these provide knowledge that we might not necessarily find in the Bible. However, I'm not knocking the Bible. The Bible is written by God. It's the most incredible book we can ever have, or I guess my brother would correct me, library outlet that we could have, because it's a collection of books that we could ever have. But these just explain further explanation or ways to or the way to interpret the Bible, because there's one way to interpret things said in the Bible, and that's the way that, like I said, the early Christians interpreted it, and the UCAT and the Catechism of the Catholic Church help with that. So now that the topic is done, do y'all know what it's time for now? It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
So today's saint of the week is Saint John Baptist de La Salle, and he is the patron saint of teachers. And I thought I'd do him since we were talking about education and how important it is to have knowledge of our faith. I thought I'd talk about him. And so he was ordained a priest. He knew that's what he wanted to do. He lived a holy life. He was born into a wealthy family, and he was very talented when it came to knowledge, right? He knew a lot. He never struggled in school or anything like that, and he noticed that throughout his town in France where he was born, that really wasn't the case with everybody else, right? A lot of people there were poor and could barely afford to send their children to school. Their children were barely literate, and they had little to no hope for the future. And St. Francis, or St. John, I keep getting St. Francis de Sales and St. John the Baptist confused. It's St. John Baptist de La Salle. Decided to change that, and he built an all-boys school that was fairly cheap to allow children to go and further their education. And he and a group of other men started it and worked together to spread these schools. And he did just that. Even though he got some hate for it, by the government especially, he still continued. And as of today, there are 80 different De La Salle schools throughout the world, which is absolutely incredible. He died a peaceful and holy death. But what I love about him is he saw that his hometown wasn't doing well when it came to knowledge. And he knew that knowledge is one of, if not the most important gift we can have, right? And he knew that the children weren't getting that the boys weren't getting that, and they deserved it. And he worked hard. And we knew he wasn't just doing it for money, right? He worked hard to do that. He took the extra step to make sure that the boys of his town got an education, and they did just that. Like I said, he is the patron saint of teachers, and we can look to him whenever we feel like we might be failing with our knowledge of the faith or losing interest in gaining knowledge of our faith, because it can be very hard to have interest in gaining knowledge of our faith, especially with all the entertainment that we have now. Yet it is very important, especially, like I said, in today's world, to argue and stand up for our faith. And like I said, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, as well as the UCAT and the Bible, all three help with that. And so anytime we feel like I said, we're losing an interest, or we want to keep growing in our faith, we can always look to St. John Baptist de La Salle for help. We can pray through him, because we don't pray to the saints, and ask him for our help. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video. Please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way y'all get notified when I come out with a new video. Also, please comment saint or topic suggestions that you might have. Check out all three of my social medias: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all three of those will be in the description down below. Also, please check out my website, kidcatholic.com. Like I said, on there you can buy your very own Catholic t-shirt. You can go on there and you can see a talk that I recently gave to a Catholic school in Marquette. Let's see what else you can do. You can do a lot on there. You can read about me. All my videos are up there. There's just so much you can do on there. Please check it out. And also, to help Kid Catholic grow, please share this channel and video with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kid Catholic. It'd be a great help if you would do that. Please like the video. Let's see, is there anything else? I think I got it all. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Remember, if you want to grow in your knowledge of the faith, please use the UCAT or the Catechism of the Catholic Church, as well as the Bible, because that's important. The Bible's, I want to emphasize again, the Bible is most important out of all of them. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next week. And hi, Brio!
Week.